Man, it's painful. But I want you to think about, what's the worst thing you've ever done? The worst thing. I have a friend, she always says, we all have a chapter we don't read out loud. What's that chapter for you? What's that thing that when you even think of it in your memory, it makes you feel shame, makes you feel embarrassed? What's that thing for you? Story speaks to that. Because the Bible goes something like this: humanity, somehow we tend to do our worst, and God somehow shows up and does his best, and his best is always infinitely better than our worst. You want to know what will run longer than your sin? It's the love of God. Forgiveness is found in him. You know, when we look at this story freighted in its context, we start to understand there was probably quite a bit of discussion about whether or not this one was going to make it into the canon of the Bible. There's something known as an agrapha, for you nerds that want to write it down. An agrapha is an oral story that travels for a few generations, and then at a certain time it gets scribed or written down. Some scholars will say that this story is that. It's an agrapha. It's a historical story of Jesus that passed down orally for a few generations until the Apostle John finally scribed it, wrote it under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit when he was writing the Gospel of John. Other scholars will say it doesn't quite fit the parameter and the billing of an agrapha, but I know this: I am really glad this story made it into the Bible. How many of you are really glad this story is in the Bible? I've met people that will say to me, Christy, if I walked in the doors of a church, God would roll over dead. Have you ever known people like that? Have you ever been one of those people in a season of life? And I always love saying, oh, he won't roll over dead. He'll just forgive you, generously lift you up, restore you, and send you on your way in shalom. That's what the Bible actually says he will do. Ladies, we need to be emissaries of these stories because God is better than we know. As we're getting to know Jesus in his first century Jewish world, he is better than we ever knew.